think yesterday when Anne was using the word God, goddesses. And not because of why she was using that word, but the way I can help you to open up. You know, in Indian scriptures, there are so much about stories about gods and goddesses, so much. I don't remember much stories, but I remember we used to hear either from grandma or elderly ladies or in the temples or, But what all the stories were just telling was about how the person can be deluded or being pulled by one single thought. They're not saying a thought, but I'm using the word thought because the thought comes in you first. And then the manifestation is like you being presented by that thought. And the years back, I was so desperate, I was just like seeking, running around everywhere. And one time, in my sleep, I was seeing how I was forming the dream. Literally, I just saw that, and it was like, wow. It's like how the one can actually form the dream. But if you just see from there, you can't understand. You say, I'm there, it's real, it's feelable, touchable. You can't. But I saw that so literally. The thought is just one like this way. It came and is gone. But is print, and then how the mind is going to present its colors, its newness also. In the presentation, there is always newness. And you can't recognize it's my thought. To you, it's all real. It's like it's all. That's why this thing is God's Leela, right? Because you don't understand this. But it came from you, that thought. The reason I'm just bringing this God story is like, even the gods and goddesses, they're in a higher level of, higher and deeper level of beingness. And even how even they being pulled by this, what is being presented in front of them. And the way they used to just show us, it was like, sometimes a dancing, beautiful lady, or, it called Maya, illusion. But that person being pulled by that lady, but then being manipulated by it. But being distracted already where the person has been in a deeper level. That's being distracted already. So when we just use the word gods and goddesses, it seems so big, right? But it's the same thing in so many people I saw. They've been earning this deeper and higher level of understanding, but how they're just being manipulated by one single thought. The thought you don't even recognize, you being presented by something. That's what I'm bringing all this big picture of front of you, the dream world of what I saw. The dream world is like, every color will be different, every form will be different. And that's why so many people, they try to understand how they can read their dreams so they can see themselves. But it's all about that single thought. How quick it comes. And then you think, okay, my situation is like this now. But something came in you first. It's so subtle. I remember in Indian history there's maybe hundreds of examples like that, how someone was in the deep contemplation, being distracted by something. Okay? They call Maya illusion. Colorful world. It so easily can distract you. So easily. And I keep reminding to come from your heart. It's not you still not going to be distracted. You're still going to be distracted. Because so many people, they just feel so big about, the past lives. Okay? But you see how many manifestations you're living even this lifetime. Each thought is just new world. And to you, it's new, it's different. It's not like before, it's different. This you're so strongly being convinced by. It's not like before. This one, God must send me something to experience. It's illusion. I know I was kind of afraid to say this before, but I really, literally can't stop myself now. It's so funny. Sometimes I find myself, I don't want to say this word to people. For behind, it's like, you say. No, you say. But sometimes it's just. Because even it takes time to come to that point when I saw in the dream how it's being manifested by me. But I couldn't understand still, I couldn't understand how the whole system was. Like that, in that area, of course I was understanding, but I couldn't understand the whole system. There's nothing. You're more emotional, you're being trapped by those kind of attractions. That's all. You move beyond your emotional body, you see, that wasn't important or, or real. But how much suffering. Because saying illusion is so easy, but the person who's suffering, I remember one time, few ladies, they were so frustrated with me. How can you say that? I feel this suffering. To me, it's real. But it's just catch your thought that how easily it's being presented. It's like you feel boredom, moving forward within, you will be being presented by something. Doubt comes, you will be being presented by something. Anything is tiniest, even smallest thought comes to you, the whole world will open up in front of you. It's repetition. Repetition means past lives, or there will be more lives. Repetition of your thoughts. There was another story I was postponing to say that. In India, in old days, a story I read somewhere a long time ago. The boy used to ride the horse to go to the next village to get married with that girl, And behind that decorated horse, there used to be friends, relatives, giving that boy company. So this is how they used to go. The boy used to go to get married with the girl. So this young fellow, he was going to get married. He was just riding beautiful decorated horse, and the people were accompanying him. And as he was walking this way, and from the opposite direction, there was one fellow was coming. And this boy's eyes were struck with this fellow for one moment. And you can call this fellow like a Baba kind of, fakir kind of figure. And he looked at the boy. He said again. And the boy stepped down from the horse, started walking with the Baba. Again means, again, same thought, same thing, same repetition, same. But to mind is being presented new way. Yeah. This time I will not make any mistake. Yeah. And same thing when the gods or goddesses, they're being distracted by anything. And this is what they were telling us, how the person can be deluded so easily. It doesn't matter how higher level the person is in. This is where your real joy will be in your heart. When you, from your whole beingness, able to recognize this is illusion. This whole system, is illusion. And before, because of you still attached to your emotional body, your feelings, your beliefs, so many things you're still so attached to. You can't recognize before. And you can't undo wherever you are. Yeah. This undoing will happen the way I was even saying even yesterday with your acceptance. Acceptance from the heart. Because otherwise the person says, okay, I'm in now, but how I just get out from here? You accept, you embrace wherever you are. If you try to move through your disliking anywhere, you're still trapped. Unconsciously you're trapped. with the love. As I always says, open your heart to everything. You accept this way, higher way. The higher levels not just for some people. Don't say that some people they are special. Higher levels only for them. No. It's just the amount you are able to pay the cost. You arise. It's for everyone. And sometimes the people are dropping and I just go in awe. How can possible way this person can drop? But this is how it is. It's Maya, it's illusion. It's so hidden way pulls you. And the depth in the person is very meaningful. And the shallow the person is, it's like easily being pulled by something. Right? Easily being pulled by any kind of illusion. And the deeper you are, it's like there's some kind of depth in you. It's not easily tossing you around, right? There's a depth. So that depth is so meaningful, so meaningful. That you earn by seeing that in your own self, that how you are so easily being distracted by something. So easily. Everywhere. Even if you being tossed around by something, just stop for a little bit. Just go deeper inside of you. Just see, is this what you want? And never think about even about your own doings. No need to think. Because everything being done by you is your past already. Right? But now you just open your eyes in it. Because otherwise, through thinking is another thoughts, another. Rolling around, rolling around. Just stop now. And another thing I was just seeing in my walk when I was opening inside of me. I saw that state of being gods or goddesses. I just saw that. To me, it was like I've been in that state. Being been in that state means you've been worshipped. It's not true way of being. The true way is a higher way. It's like that's a trap. Because it's your desire to be worshipped. If there is a desire, there is manifestation. That's why the gods and goddesses, we hear the fighting with each other. Right? Spiritual way of fighting. Every state is available to you. But sometimes it's hard to put on thought down a little bit. Right? It's painful to put one thought down. It says, no, it's real. It's mine. There's some valuable things in it. Right? It's hard. It's illusion. That you only recognize as illusion when you drop it. Consciously choosing to drop it. Then sometimes this realization comes sooner, sometimes a little later. It's according to individual. I always, from day one, this higher is somehow is my beloved. I wrote down in my Punjabi word was Saheb, my Saheb. Even now, I didn't even know what I mean that time, but it is, and now I'm so glad. That is. That is your beloved. And that's how it should stay in your prayer toward your beloved. I was saying selfless way. Selfless is no self in it, no desires in it, no thinking in it. Selfless way, that prayer. That is true direction, true. And when you are thirsty for that, for you, then there is no stoppage anywhere. Nothing is going to satisfy you. Nothing. as this is above and beyond. It's not in anything. Temporary way, you go there. But even when you go there, temporary way, you're still looking him. Wherever you go, you're looking him. Because it's not in any kind of form.